scratches on your arm? You want to see the
scratches?
Pictures? You want,
I got scratches.
I can show you the pictures right now.
No, I want you to leave my family fucking alone.
Keep hanging outside of there.
Hit the road. Dude, I promise you, you're gonna get yours and you're
I don't
gonna
give a fuck. You can bring whoever the fuck you want.
That's okay. You're gonna
bring
that
the whole fucking army. I don't give a fuck.
I'm stalking you. I got pictures of you to prove it. That's what Mr. Perry does. 43 recordings, Mr. Perry, of you guys talking about me hunkering down so I'm not stalked. That would be a normal reaction. I came to Oklahoma to get away from you and your drama and your problems and your cruelty and your weirdo problems and your creepy and not be bothered. And you bothered me all fucking day. Bothered and bothered and bothered and bothered and bothered. Just like this guy. I mean, look at this guy. He doesn't even make sense, does he?
I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why I leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes and
No,
leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please, stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me.
Mr. Perry, we have 70,000 recordings of you that you know of. When you contact me, we get more. When you cause me money problems, we get more. Geppetto, we got your name because Mr. Perry was causing me to have to call and ask for money for my ex-husband. I should never, sir, have to need money or be short. I make money. There's a thing called grand larceny with intent to coerce, interference with commerce and contracts with intent to coerce. You were told don't get her kicked out of that hotel even though there's not a contract, because the second part of that is commerce. You're interfering with the buying and selling of goods and services with intent to coerce her. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcast. This is Cynthia Ortiz. It's like Mr. Perry has no fucking idea what I just said. We don't even have words for that. Never does he respond appropriately to what I just said. Never. 70,000 times he was caught planning a crime against me, and he has no fucking idea what that means. McNamara email, Geppetto, Calvin, Blankenship, Desiree. I have names, sir. Your code words, Muffin Man, Hansel and Gretel, pin the tail on the donkey. Because you're taking my money and you're bothering me and bothering me and bothering me. I'm not attracted to you. I'm repulsed by you, sir. You're just as freaky Jason as this guy.
Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes and
No,
leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please, stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me.
Mr. Perry, I just said. What did I just say? When you contact me, it pisses me off, so we get more. I don't like your contact. I've asked you to stop it. I've asked you to cut it the fuck out, weirdo. Stop contacting me, sir. I don't want to hear it. We're all sick of hearing it, sir. You sound as nutty as this guy. Wacky Jackie.
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes and
No,
leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please, stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't.
Here's Mr. Perry. Every day we say the same thing. When he pesters her, when he bothers me, when he takes her money, things don't go well for us. We're seeing things happen we've not seen before. All of a sudden, we get quoted all the time. Here's Perry. Let's do it again, everybody. We're going to prove that we're not stalking by going everywhere she goes. When she does normal things normal people do, working at work, and we're going to do it more. We're going to take pictures of her. We're going to take pictures of her, everybody. Okay, let's just do it again. We got caught yesterday, so let's do it again. We're all like, oh my God, it's so easy. It's not even fair. Cause and effect. We learned it in kindergarten. Mr. Mental Slow. You embarrass the hell out of me. You don't even make sense. You can tell you have no fucking idea what I'm saying. You can just tell by the way you act. You don't have any idea what I just said. So, it's very difficult to deal with somebody like that. I'm not a special ed teacher. You got to keep up with me. I'm not going to slow down for you. I have gifts, strengths, weaknesses. I'm not gifted in dealing with somebody who's very slow. I don't know how to deal with it. It gets on my nerves. It's like grinding nails on a chalkboard. You got to keep up with me. I'm not, you have money, Mr. Perry. You need to pay somebody to help you understand what the fuck people say to you, because your reactions are always a fail. You can tell you have no fucking idea what I just said. It's rather embarrassing. How does one broach the conversation when you guys call around like you did today, asking for who's helping me? We know you did. We know you called all over the place. I mean, we quote you guys fucking every fucking day. Yellow Brick Road. You guys were having that conversation in 2021, Calvin, weren't you? Let's get her run off the road in the rain. Let's get that car from her. Then she'll have to dig out of a dumpster, and then maybe she'll do as she's told. Is that you, Calvin, that says that? How did we get your name, Calvin? I was having to ask for money. And Mr. Perry was pestering me, and my privacy was invaded. It's different when you do it to me, but it's the same every time you do it. Cause and effect. Same and different. We learned it in kindergarten, daycare. What's wrong with you, mental slows? You just get up and do the same thing every day. You're going to prove to the world that you're not stalking me by taking pictures of me at work, showing that you're not stalking me. I'm just minding my own business, doing my own thing, not bothering anybody, working. I mean, Hillbilly, cover up right there. Mr. Perry, your lie that you're fighting for ended with the McNamara email, sir. The email that just says, I'm going to false arrest her to coerce her. I'm going to cause incredible duress and incredible stress and make her lie for me against her will. 2021, we have emails going back to 2021. We're going to make her, against her will, move to Texas. So everybody was laughing at y'all today, Mr. Perry, this morning. These guys are something else. Perry ruins her business, runs her out of Lubbock, then makes her life unbearable, butting in with Fabian in Dallas, she leaves Texas. Now they're all trying to force her back against her will. Then they ran all the money off at her club where she was working, so she quit, and made it more dangerous, so she quit. And then now they're all trying to get her back out at the club. Now they're all going, well, maybe we should have let her into at least one of the 3 lawsuits instead of keeping her out of 4, which looks a little fishy. You can't win Candyland against yourself, Mr. Perry. Playing Candyland against myself and I win. It's like dealing with a fucking mental veggie. It's very frustrating for me. I don't have the patience for it. I really don't. It's very embarrassing for me. You got people who are extremely smart, Mr. Perry, out thinking you in their sleep. 13 years of it. You are not going to get a date with me. I don't go out with men who peep. I don't go out with men who are lazy. I don't go out with men who are creepy. I don't go out with men who would allow me to miss a meal, much less get me kicked out of my home over and over and over. I don't go out with cruel men. That's not my thing. But you know what I can do, and I've done better than anybody you know? Kick your criminal ass. Hard. I've quoted you every fucking day. So how do you call a police department and go, I have a sex weirdo problem, and I need to know if you're helping stop my crime. I want you to stop stopping my crime. Is it you? And what are you told? Nothing. You're not told a fucking thing. How do you know who's telling you the truth and who's lying? It's a need to know. You're not entitled to fuck, are you? What opened this up was human rights violations, like what you're doing to me right now. Deprivation of basic rights and needs, and you pissed everybody off. And what I told you to do, sir, is allow my ex-husband to pay the week he offered to begin with. And don't force me against my will to a place that I don't want to go. I'm not going with you. I don't like you. You're rejected again today. You've never had a date with me. You're not going to have a date with me. You disgust me. All you did is piss everybody off when you did that. So, in continuing what I was saying before, these guys were laughing at you. How stupid. You know, all we heard for 6 years is if we can just get her to quit dancing when she's around all these men, then she'll like me. The second she quit, we got to get her back on that pole and on a schedule. Yup, regrets. Regrets. We know you can live with your choices. Right? Stop butting into my family. Leave my family the fuck alone. So, now, and then it was, they should have just let Ernest pay the week. And all they did is make a big mess. Should have let her at least one hearing in her 3 lawsuits. I played Candyland against myself and I won, everybody. You didn't have an opponent, sir. You didn't overcome my evidence. So, when I tell you Butt out of my family business. And by the way, you have a bill due. You don't get to use my body for your entertainment, sir. You don't. There's a charge for that. It's $1,000 a day for using my body for your entertainment and for profit, plus $2,000 a day for doing it without my consent. And you are to cease and desist immediately. I'm not going to take your little freaky Jason house in Houston. I don't want anything to do with you. I said no. No means no. Leave me alone. One time is all I say it. One time. So we got more today. We got more today. You gave us more to get? How do you call a police department or a governor or a judge? I have a sex weirdo problem and I just need you to cover it up, please. I just need you to stop stopping my crime. Please, I'll make it worth your while. How do you even do that? How do you fucking have that kind of conversation? I would die. I would fucking die. That's why most people don't do what you do, sir. You're deviant. Deviant. What opened this up was that you're raking it in, the witness says, while you starve us to death. What if I'm Exhibit A? And you're just giving us more than we know what to do with. There's a reason it's different when you do it to me, but it's the same every time you do it. You pissed everybody off. You've ruined my credit. Everybody hates you. You have no idea. We don't have any problem getting information. And nobody will tell you fuck. And you can't get the cause and effect. Your reaction is never like you understand a fucking thing I'm saying. The more you pester me, the more you take my money. Somebody else pointed out. That's the cause. The effect is things don't go well for us. We're seeing things happen we've not seen before. She's quoting us every fucking day. 43 times you've talked about me hunkering down. Don't tell her ex-husband not to help her. She hunkers down and she won't go out and let us stalk her and take pictures so we can prove we're stalking her. We got a hillbilly cover up here. Yeah, I'm at a loss. We don't even know what to say to this. It's so easy. It's not fair, David.
Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why
See, most people would go, gosh, for 7 years, she quotes us every day. She finds out everything we're trying to do. Maybe we ought to stop. When he pesters her and bothers me, and he bothered me and bothered me and bothered me all fucking day. I don't like you. There's no us, whack job. You're delusional and you're stupid. There is no us. I don't like you. Our shrink says you're unable to identify a consensual relationship. You're not able to identify it. You can't tell the difference between a date and a felony. You're not able to identify your legislative duties. Do you have Huntington's disease? You got something. Because your response is like you have no fucking idea what I just said. Always. It's very embarrassing. Huntington's disease causes paranoia and delusion. You're imagining something that's not there. I have not talked to you. I've not tried to see you. I've tried to kick you off me, sir. It's rape. It is fucking rape. You're violating me in the most vulgar way imaginable. And we've told you and told you and told you to stop. And the more you give us, I mean, it's piling up. There's your shovel. Dig away. You're trying so hard to cover something up, and the more you try to cover it up, the more uncovered it gets. It's literally, David, so easy, it's not fair. So, when we quote you, you did ask for that. All you had to do is leave me the fuck alone. And this, you make as much sense as this guy. And I'll tell you what. It is obscene. The way you act and the way he acts, and it's the same. Obscene, sir. You're making everybody very angry at you for what you're putting me through and Mike Neely through. You're a hated man. All of you are very hated people right now. We don't have problems getting information. You do because of it. Do you understand cause and effect? We learned it in daycare. You guys are old farts. You still trying to get there, huh?
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
All right, you're disgusting. We live in a civilized society. You have manners, you respect boundaries, you respect the rights and wishes of others, and if you don't, you got a mental illness called antisocial disorder. It's a mental illness, sir. So what opened this up to begin with is the starvation, torture, and torment of women and kids. And you act like you have no fucking idea what I just said. You never respond right. We just got caught. Let's do it again, guys. Everybody, let's have the meeting. And even though we just got caught, we're gonna do it again. So now we got 43 conversations of me hunkering down. She won't go anywhere if she knows you're gonna do something to her. She doesn't like being stalked. No one does. So your comments, David, were bizarre. Yours too, Charles. We can't have her in a hotel where she can hunker down. We gotta have her out where we can stalk her, get pictures of it to prove we're stalking her. Yep, Hillbilly cover up right there. The more you do it to me, the more we quote you. The more we know what you just did. We know what you just said. It's different when you do it to me, but it's the same every time you do it. It's been that way for 7 years. Charles, I don't like your contact. I don't like it. You disgust me. You creep me out. You give me the heebie-jeebies. I don't like it. And the more you do it, the more we get. Because, you know, these guys helping me get really pissed off. They're very chivalrous. They've known me all my life. They watched me thrive at that apartment that you had me kicked out of and have a really good life and have fun. And you make it unfun. You made it unfun. They're mad at you for that. These are not people you want to piss off. They've known me all my life. Matt, I didn't ingratiate myself to police, Matt. They're just not stupid. They can look at facts. They're getting what you guys just said. They know you said that. And they know it's bizarre that you said that. They know that you called up here and said, can we get Frank Morrison to just say that she maybe just misunderstood him in these texts to Charles of December 2011? And the guy said, you can, but what a stupid question. I don't think it'll work. You know why? Because he never asked her why she's pissed off, which means he already knew. He doesn't deny spreading rumors of an affair. He denies having employees. Well, we know he had employees because she names them. Robin and Carl Tepper in the text. We know you said that. We know you said I torpedoed your case. I didn't commit a crime, sir. By law, I had to file a police report. That police report, by law, should have been investigated. My blood should have been drawn. You know, CSI Las Vegas. You ever watch that, Matt? Aren't you supposed to be a prosecutor? Brady rules. You heard of that? You had no intention to go into trial, Matt, because you had the ABA rules say you're supposed to properly collect the evidence and preserve it. That's on you to prove or disprove that I was poisoned. Was it arsenic? Was it something I had a text? You didn't see that. So what did I torpedo exactly? Who did I ingratiate myself to exactly? Maybe they're just cops that are smarter than you. Did you get your law degree out of a Cracker Jack box? We've seen what great intelligence comes out of Texas Tech. Don't even know what the Civil War was about. It ended slavery. It ended slavery. Mr. Perry, your contact of all kinds and all forms makes me want to vomit. You know, you promised me in those bond conditions that you would never contact me again. And so now nobody believes you. You break every promise you make. Nobody believes you. In fact, you give your power over to me every time you give me credibility. When we get what you just said, hunkering down 43 times, ringtone like 200 times. Get a ringtone, Richard. Poor Richard, we call him Ringtone Richard now. Get her shoe print. Frame her for that murder. Well, I can't even put her at the place. I don't think she's ever been to the location. Ever. Well, you got a public defender. They won't think of that. Right, but she will. She will. You're not paying attention. You're not fucking paying attention. Look what she did for Mike Neely. Look what she's done on her own case. Look who's helping her. She will do it. What kind of fucktard says that? It's just a public defender. Wow. Oh my God. Did you hear the words that just came out of your mouth? Richard's the smart one here. Don't you think? Jesus. That's the kind of stuff we have to deal with every day. Your contact, Mr. Perry, is unwanted. It's creepy. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. It makes me want to throw up. You are not hot and sexy. You're disgusting. Stop bothering me. Stop bothering me, sir. Get off your ass, get a life, and get out of mine. Where is Jacqueline? When you're bothering me. I would like for her to come get her rabid, fucked up dog out of my backyard. He's shit everywhere, and now it smells bad. Charles, everybody hates you, and David, and Calvin, and all you people, Geppetto, for all the horrifying things you've done to me and Mike Neely. Hate your guts. We have no problems getting what you just said, David. It's so easy, it's not fair. When you be cruel to people, they're not going to like you. That's why they wrote the course. How to be nice to people so they don't want to hit you in the face with a brick. Try taking it sometime. Mr. Perry, all of you, your little mommy issues. Your mom shit on your cornflakes or something when you were a kid. I'm a child abuse sex weirdo. You got to give me a pass. Yeah. No one cares. No one fucking cares. All you have to do is show the court, look how much money this person had to go get therapy. And only, by the way, 0.1% of people of the population is a violent offender. Only 0.1% uses that abuse as an excuse to fail. They're, what are we, boo fucking who? Boo fucking who? Lonnie Evans didn't. He's using his to solve crime, isn't he? And to study what people like you. Why the fuck would anyone do that? That question's been asked a lot about y'all. Why the hell are they doing that to her? Why the fuck are they doing that to her? What good is coming from it? They just get told on. It's not making her do anything but hate him. A lot of animosity, a lot of stress we all want to be rid of. When you're in jail, Charles, I won't have to be stressed out anymore. I won't be broke ever again. I will never ever again have to ask for money. I can get my credit repaired. I can get my privacy back and you're gone. The problems, the drama, the stress that you're causing, the threat that you are, will be safe finally. Because you'll be gone. So no, I'm not going to help you. No motive at all to help you. We're sick of you. Everybody's sick and tired of you. It's rape. You're an imposition and a burden we all want done. Gone. Gone. So when I quote you, remember that's why. That right there is why. Everybody's sick of dealing with this. Princess, cuckoo bird. Go see a shrink and get off me. I'm going to do the disclaimer. Use allegedly. Apply the but-for legal standard, but for Mr. Perry bothering and bothering and bothering and causing unbearable duress on me constantly. We wouldn't do these to document it. It is for court. When you do what you were talking about doing in the recording, and then I'm like, well, I told you so. You give me credibility and you lose all yours and you gave me your power. We think that is hysterical. We also think it's funny when you offer me a bribe. I'll give you this house after I've starved you into a lie. Starved you to where you think you don't have a choice. You're homeless. You're digging out of a dumpster. Now take my bribe. When we say, yeah, no. How about you pay your bill? You give back what you took and you get the fuck out. It's the difference between illegal money and legal money. A legally owned debt. Owed debt, sir. A legally owed debt. Our accountant knows exactly how much to the penny you cost me every time you rented out my club and running off my customers. To the penny. Every time you've hacked my food delivery apps, sir. Or every time I was told you can't go to work tonight, it's too dangerous. They got a syringe. They're going to fake up a medical emergency and get you helping the guy, and then tell you the guy has a virus. I got to give you a shot or you'll get it too. And your hitman said, what do I do if she won't take the shot? And you said you make sure she will. You tell her she'll die if she doesn't. Can't go to work, Sin. So how much money did I lose that night? I paid Joe Chadwick $5,000 in no-show fees. So I lost the $5,000 I paid him plus the money I would have made had I gone to work. Had I not been told you better sit this one out. It's too dangerous. Yeah, hunkered down, you stupid son of a bitch. You're stalking me in the Forum State of Oklahoma. I came here to get away from all this. To be with my family and get away from you. I can't even fucking go to work. Stalking is a felony, by the way. Peeping is a felony. Hacking is a felony. Coercion is a felony. Witness tampering is a felony. Title 18 of the United States Code 1512 and 1513. You have violated that all over the place. So look at the Violence Against Women Act. I'm asserting my constitutional rights, especially equal protection, you misogynist piece of shit. You get told on every time you do it to me. Why is that? Maybe I'm Exhibit A. Maybe I'm fucking Exhibit A. So you proved out the witness, you proved out 2 shrinks, and you proved out every fucking recording we have. Every time you do something to me, and our shrink's like, he's making you so credible. He'll do it, and then we did say Mike was drugged before anybody else said it, did we not? Wasn't on the docket yet. Depositions weren't even taken yet. Jean Bencher wants to know, how did she know my legal argument before I made it? She's texting me telling me it's not plausible. Don't do that. Yeah, it wasn't plausible. You can't, while you're drugged and unconscious and in respiratory distress, fall on somebody with your magic ass, cause internal decapitation, blunt force trauma to the head, and strangulation, can you? It's not doable. It's not possible. So, because of what you did to Mike, everybody hates you. We don't have any problem getting information, and nobody will tell you fuck. Who, when you call around, yeah, I want you to stop stopping my crime. Is it you? Whiny, here's my passy. Here, I've got my dress on. I'm all girled up with my little dolly here in the matching outfit. Who's lying and who's telling you the truth? You're not entitled to fuck. You're the criminal. Nobody owes you shit. Explanation-wise, they don't owe you. Mr. Perry types in my phone, I've got questions. No one cares. Get out of my phone. I'll talk to you one way. After you're arrested, after you waive your right to counsel, you can tell me why you did. You can tell me what you did and why you did it and nothing else. I don't want to hear how you feel. I don't want to hear what you need. I don't want to hear what you want. We're sick of hearing that. You've shoved that down our throats till we're throwing up on it. We want you to shut up. Just shut up. Leave everybody alone. Mr. Warman, your client bothered me and bothered me and bothered me and bothered me all fucking day. Get him off his ass, get him working. He needs to be seen in Lubbock with his constituents, shaking hands and kissing babies with his family, and having an alibi, doing anything but what I say he's doing. And he does not have that. Hard to do when you're just sitting on your fat, lazy ass perverting around, bothering everybody. Who sits around just trying to figure out how to ruin somebody's life? Yeah, our Schwink is like, he's got some guys helping him do that have justified it in their minds, that it's okay. They're mentally ill too. You can't do that. You can't bring yourself to ruin somebody's life. Unless you got something wrong with you. And so when I examine them, I'll tell you what disease they have that makes it where they can do that. It's not normal to want to ruin somebody's life. It's not normal to want to do anything mean. And guess what? When you're mean to people, they're not going to like you. We don't have problems getting information, you do. You are hated people right now. Very hated people. For what you're putting me through and Mike Neely through. And your other victims. I can't name the other victims, but I can name the 2 of us. Mike Neely, Lisa Neely, John Neely, the Miller family, me, Tristan Dennis, my ex-husband. My ex-husband has not even bothered to call and say, are you alright? I know you're sleeping in your fucking car. Because I was a dick to you. I said what they told me to say. Why would you go from paying a week at one place? What's wrong with paying it to another? Said, no, I'm going to pay one night and you're out on the street, or you come to Texas. Because Charles and Dave want you in Texas. So they can do more to you. Right? We had that in March. We had the Yellow Brick Road conversations in 2021. Yep. We had you talking to my landlord. How many people have you gotten kicked out of their homes? Do you know how horrible that is? Do you know you made him very uncomfortable? You make most people very uncomfortable, sir. Now, you always respond to these podcasts like you have no fucking idea what I just said. Do you have Alzheimer's? We have to repeat the same thing over and over and over and over. Cause and effect. When you do it to me, you get caught. It's different when you do it to me, but it's the same every time you fucking do it. 7 years, every day. What kind of fucktard keeps doing it? We're gonna do it again, guys. We get caught every time we do something to her, but let's do it again. Jesus. I mean, golly. That's why it's so easy. It is not even fair. How many times?
That's okay.
Look how wacky this dude is. She's like yelling at him. Leave me alone, like I do, Mr. Perry. Leave me alone. Get away from me. Get away from me. Shut up and get away from me. Constantly screaming and yelling. Get away from me, rapist. Because Mr. Perry's invading my privacy. He's in my phone. Hacked my phones. Hacked everything. Peepin' Tom problem. Yuck. Violating me in a most vulgar way you can violate somebody. It is rape, sir. You're a sex offender. Allegedly. Somebody was telling them, I think that you guys have done what she said before you did it so many times that she really doesn't even need to say allegedly. In most people's minds, they don't feel that she would need to say that because you keep doing what she's already told everybody, you know, you were gonna do. I told you so. I did say. I told you. I said. Now guess who has credibility and guess who doesn't? You promised me, Mr. Perry, in those bond conditions you would leave me the fuck alone, and you lied. You fucking lied, and I hate your guts for it. No one believes you when you talk. Somebody told you that. You're talking to me like you think I believe you, and I think you know I don't. And you're talking to me like you think I want to hear what you have to say, and I think you know I don't. Right? So this guy's commenting on her clothes, and everybody's like, well, but no one asked you. Whack job, wacky Jackie. Did they? What did she say? Leave me the fuck alone. Now respond like you understood her. Yep. Because if you don't, something's wrong with your head. You got wires missing. You're not all there.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my god. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my god. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
See how the rest of the world finds that extremely irritating? Yeah. And this guy here. Crossing boundaries, Mr. Perry. You're crossing boundaries. It's disgusting.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to, but even when they're not. Unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public, it doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
Alright, so we got Geppetto's name because I'm broke and you're pestering. We got Calvin's name because I'm broke and you're pestering and trying to take my car. We got Blankenship and Desiree. Their names came up in a different context. And it's none of your business what context that was. And then we get Jeff's name. And then we get Dominic's name. Yeah. People I'd have never even fucking met. Because you won't fuck off. And I'm broke. And Mike's in jail. Cause and effect. Cause and effect. How do you go to another country and negotiate, Mr. Perry? When your leverage is human rights violations. And they're like, well, but you got them in your country. You got some sex weirdos that are abusing women and children. So don't come in here and talk to me about mine. You got your own. Yep. This makes it a little hard, don't you think? You don't have that right, sir. I think you need to learn how to control yourself. So who has the kind of power that can get me that in jail? When you had me illegally detained, Mr. Powell? I had by law, Mr. Perry knew by law, I had to file a police report to get a protective order, and if somebody's threatening you with death and false arrest, sir, you need a protective order, don't you? And you deprived me of that. It's the legal right. I have the right to the protection of the laws in the state where I live, do I not? Ingratiated herself, my ass. Boy, you're something. So, that's not just any name, that's Fabian's name. And it's not just intersected with any word, it's intersecting with the word hope. And you're the bud in here. You're always a wannabe, never the wanted one. Ever. You're not wanted, you're not loved, you're told on and told on and told on and told on. Right, Geppetto? Right? You bring sadness and fear, and everybody's sick and tired of feeling that. Stressing out, worried, anxious, threatened. And when you're in jail, all that's gone with you. All that's gone with you. We're safe. Finally, we're safe. So we got all this because you won't fuck off and leave me alone. Here's my ex-husband, who just said I'll pay the week, and then changed it. Instead of paying, what you're gonna pay it at one place, why not another? I shouldn't have to ask him for help at all. Geppetto, we got your name. Calvin, we got your name because I did. I'd ask. My guy said, Mr. Perry, I'm not shitting you. I'm not kidding you. I'm not playing games with you. She is not to have to ask for money again, and she's not to come up short again. Get out of her wallet. You're fixing to get charged with grand larceny with intent to coerce and interference with commerce and contracts with intent to coerce. It's part of the charges that are about to hit you. This is a problem for you, sir. And every day you haven't fixed it, we get more. You're calling police today. Was it you? I swear to God, it wasn't me. Yeah, It was Dominic, Charles. Yep. See, get out. The more you bother me, the more you cause me a loss. The longer Mike's in jail, the more we get. Every day, same thing. It's different when you do it to me, but it's the same every time you do it. There's you telling my landlord can't get her kicked out because we take her money because of the COVID moratorium, so let's try smoking. That was on the 9th of February. And then you did it on the 15th. She did try. Right there. The dates and times of my emails are very significant because it's always beforehand, not after. And you know we have this. And you try to do it anyway. So easy, it's not fair, David. But she already knows. Yeah, I know she knows. I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. Wow. Then you give her a whole lot of credibility when she comes out and says, well, I did say. This is mains ray. This is premeditation. That's what this is. That's the reason we apply the but-for legal standard. The causation of the problems is you. And we've got evidence to prove that. Don't say one more time, can she prove it? It's not me you need to worry about proving it. It's the prosecutor after your butt. Okay? We have, they got orders to approve what they're doing. A lot of people got mad when he got her kicked out of her apartment. She's not going to get a new apartment or a new car. And then you told my ex-husband not to help me. And then here comes Terry when I threw a fit. Yeah, all of a sudden he gave me money. Your little friend Terry said, I've worked in road construction in the same state for 40 years. Never heard of David Robertson. Yeah, I'm like, okay, sure. I'll pretend I believe you. But what that means to me is he sent you in here. So that was the first conversation I had with him. A lot of people got pissed, and then the guy was like, well, she can't say that she didn't get her new apartment or her new car. And the guy goes, yeah, but did you see what she had to go through to get it? It's just a little apartment and a little beat-up car. And watch, as soon as she gets it, he'll start trying to take it away from her. And you proved that right. A lot of people were mad when you did that. Really mad. Really fucking mad. And then they got even more mad when you did this hotel thing. Really fucking mad. Didn't owe them money. Didn't owe them money. They had no right to take my stuff. Every fucking thing I owned. Guess what Hitler did? He gets the Jews. They had businesses. They have homes. They worked very hard for all their lives to build up. He takes them all. He takes all of that away. Puts them in a little shack with lice everywhere. Feeds them, a biscuit once a week, and tells everybody, I give them a place to live and food. That's you. Everybody hates Hitler, and they hate you. Those are the villains, not the hero. Yeah, that's your legacy, Perry. Here it is, Yellow Brick Road. On and on, so countless. Charles, you're creepy. Your contact is disgusting to me. Stop. You bothered me all fucking day. Stop it. Control yourself. You're creeping me out, Charles. Get out of my phone, please. So, this was dated, look, April 2021. He's trying to make me move against my will. Who has the actual recordings of these? Who gave me the Fabian puzzle? Who found out Mike Mealy was drugged before anybody else said it? Now there's this one. I don't think it's, well, since he trying to take her driver's license away from her, since he's trying to illegally detain her again, do another false arrest, cause duress, make her apologize, assign a letter he wrote, not her, or starve her back to Texas, like a kidnapping, and he took her social security card and a birth certificate, and he's trying to get her driver's license. I'd say that's not stalking. I'd say that's sex trafficking. If I'm just looking at the facts. That's illegal, right, Mr. Perry? It's a very serious crime. It's like life in prison. Life in prison, just for that. Doesn't count what you did to Lucky. We want the death penalty for you. Aren't you in a state where there's a death penalty? You know what would be interesting is if the death penalty was the same way you killed people, you had to be killed the same way. Not this, here, we'll put a little needle in your arm and you can go sleep and just don't wake up. As long as you're all nice and comfortable. 8th Amendment. What if it was not that? What if it was, since you kicked his head off his body, how about we kick yours off yours? Your head off your body. Same way you did to him. How about we do that? Huh? Arsenic or something. Tried to kill me with arsenic and a syringe. Yeah, but I had to miss a shoe print. Get her shoe print, Richard. Get a ringtone, Richard. We gotta frame her for a murder. She didn't do. And Richard's like, I gotta put her at the place. I don't think she's even been there. No, you don't. She'll have a public defender. Have you met her? Have you met her? Are you paying attention at all? Stupid. I mean, she sure liked Mike's case. She sure liked her own case. She's got help. She's quoting us all the time. I know you said that. Yeah, Richard's the smart one on that one. So, there's all that. Ringtone. Get a ringtone, Richard. And here's Mr. Powell. It does look like there was a concerted effort to displace her. You think? Point out for me the marks on the injuries on Mike Neely. It looked like he was even in a fight at all. It's kind of hard to beat someone up when you're been drugged and you're in respiratory distress and unconscious. And I said it before anybody else said it. There's the arrest report. No injuries are listed. None. He had a swollen right hand. Well, Jesus. He's got an IV needle in it. But if you beat somebody that badly, you're not going to have a swollen right hand. You're going to probably have a broken right hand. It's not going to look like he looks. And a busted lip and nose from after the whole thing was over. They pulled him off. Lucky. What we think happened is he was sitting on the bed. You know when you're in a hotel room? When you're in a hotel room and you have a guest in, they let somebody in the room. Somebody they thought was trustworthy. The person, the offender, the murderer, was allowed to come in the room. They let him in. And they're sitting there drinking. Lisa Neely said that when her husband goes to bed, he has sweats on. Well, he wasn't found in sweats. He was found in street clothes. It's like khaki pants or whatever. So, they were talking about the Jeff Epstein case. It was videoed just hours before the murder. Well, Mr. Perry's doing sex exploitation and sex trafficking. So, don't you think maybe that's what they were discussing? Like he said, I think he's a necrophiliac. I'm reading the book Sexual Homicide. Part of the activities of somebody who's a sex weirdo, child abuse sex weirdo, whatever, is they do cross-dressing, they do animal sex, they do voyeurism, he gives a list. It's written by the profiler from the FBI, the guy that set it up, Robert Kessler or Ressler. Okay, so we're talking about crime causation here. It's very important to understand what in the fuck goes through somebody's mind that would do that. Somebody that engages in strange, deviant behavior, like voyeurism. Like sex with animals. Now, cross-dressing it depends on how it's done. You got RuPaul, very popular show. I've got friends that are trans, and they cross-dress, and I get mad at them. Some of them are prettier than me. They're guys. So one of my favorite shows was Boylesque in Vegas. They got guys that dress like Madonna and Cher and Marilyn Monroe, and I'm like, and they're beautiful. And this, I'm like, God, how they do that? How they fucking... Anyways, so I'm not talking about in that context. I'm talking about in a context which then leads to somebody dies. Or somebody is raped, or somebody's hurt. It's a difference. There's a big difference. So that's what he's talking about. That there's certain habits that these guys who are like BTK, where he binds, tortures, and kills, and then goes and ejaculates in another room. He's getting a sexual gratification out of hurting somebody. Okay, that's bad, right? Is it not? It's crime. Murder's crime. It's a pretty serious crime. So, Jeff Epstein had voyeur cameras in his home, which pissed off his friends. It's even worse when you put it in somebody else's home without their permission or their consent. You're gonna piss people off, and you did especially when you do it to me. What if I'm Exhibit A? It's different when you do it to me, but it's the same every time you do it. You fucked hard. So, this that's what they were talking about. He's found in his street clothes. When you're in a hotel room, normally, if it's your room, you feel more comfortable sitting on the bed than if you walk in somebody else's room, you feel more comfortable sitting in a chair. I would think. I do. So, keeping that in mind, so Mr. Neely was likely sitting on the bed. Somebody gave him a drink, put something in it. He drinks it, and they're all talking and laughing and joking around, and he begins to pass out. And Lucky starts to yell at the offender, "What'd you give him?" And that was the fight. They got a call. Hotel John comes up to the room, wanting to know what's going on. Lucky won't open the door more than 6 inches, he said, only enough to where he could see his face. Who's he hiding? He doesn't need to conceal Mike. Mike's the other registered guest in the room. So who's he concealing? Did he have somebody with a gun behind him telling him to get rid of Hotel John? Earlier that night, Mike Neely had opened the door for Hotel John. They lost the remote. He opens the door wide. Hotel John, at that point, visualizes Lucky resting on the bed near the window. Mike answers the door. He's happy. Everybody's happy. Everybody's fine. But at that second call, over a fight, loud noise, he didn't see Mike. No one saw Mike. No one knows what condition he was in, and he didn't make a peep. Now, does anybody out there know an angry drunk about to beat somebody to death? He doesn't make any noise at all. They're usually yelling. They won't shut up. Right? As soon as the door shuts, Lucky is subdued and beat to death. And I said Mike Neely was drugged. He didn't do it. March 2020. You got the wrong guy. Sure as shit. A couple of months later, he was drugged. He was given Narcan. Now, when he's unconscious, when he's in respiratory distress, we need a blood test right there. We need to find out. That's the proper collection of the evidence. Right, Matt? We need to find out what's in him to make him unconscious and in respiratory distress, don't we? They wait till he's at the hospital after he's been given Narcan and he came to. He got the diagnosis right. Because if he's unconscious and drug and in respiratory distress and dying of drug overdose and they give him Nexium, he's not going to come to. It's the wrong thing. So they gave him Narcan. They got the diagnosis right because he came to. Correct? There's the man you took his life. That's the legacy left for your kids. You didn't have the right to take it. This man died for me. I have a really hard time with it. A really hard time with it. I've lost my ass. You took my home. You got me kicked out of the second place where it wasn't really my home, but it was where I was staying. You took everything I own. My granddad's stuff. You took my granddad's t-shirt. You took everything I own. And I don't cry over that, but you know what I cry over? This. I cry over this right here. I don't understand why you would do this to him and his family and his kids. And if you're a police officer, please keep in mind every time you go home and your kids get to see you, this man doesn't get to do that. He didn't get to go home, nor did Mike Neely. He was killed in the line of duty, and his family deserves those honors, and you robbed them of that. And I will never forgive you for it. Everybody hates it for it. This is where Lucky was found, laying face up. Nice and neat, like he was placed there. If you're beaten, you're going to fall slumped, maybe against the wall. He was found laying face up, nice and neat, like somebody put him there. He was placed there, in that small, very small, confined space. His head beat back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth, until his head came off his body. And for my testimony, you have retaliated against me, Mr. Perry, Mr. Robertson, Calvin, Geppetto, Mr. Powell, Mr. Burson, Mr. Chadwick, because you did this murder. Otherwise, what do you care? And we have a reporter that pointed that out. I have a law degree. In March 2020, when they first started bribing her, and she said in response to that, you're not going to give me whatever I want. You're going to try to give me what you want. It's not the same thing. What I want is for you to give back what you took and get the fuck out, and that would include getting Mike Neely home. He hadn't had trial yet. Had they done what she said, they get Mike home. She's doing fine. There's no evidence of coercion at all. And you know, if they like framing people, frame the fucking somebody from the meth bust. But they didn't do that. It would have looked like they backed the blue. We want the suspicion off of us. So we're going to help Mike get home. That way they can't blame us for that. But that's not what they did. Now you have 4 court proceedings where she should have been able to testify, needed to be able to testify, was required to be able to testify, and did not. They didn't overcome her evidence. They didn't win. They didn't have an opponent. You can't play Candyland against yourself and say you won. You didn't have an opponent. You didn't overcome my evidence. You didn't even let me in to show it. The burden of proof was on me. In a murder trial, if there's something exculpatory, it is a Brady violation if you don't let that information in and you intentionally conceal the material fact that could have changed the outcome. And that is perjury, sir. Or suborning perjury when you called Gene Mitchell and told him to do that. So, which police department's going to put your ass in jail for all this? What day will they bang on your front door and it's over? The nightmare's over. And I will never be broke again and I'll have my privacy back. What day, sir? You've been calling all day. Did you find anything? Nope, we can get information and you cannot because everybody hates you for what you're putting us through. So the reporter's like, had they done this? Had they gotten Mike home and she's doing good? We would have said, if she continued to assert that they killed Chief Miller, even if they really did, we would say, we would think she's wrong, if not a little bit nuts. But that's not what happened. Instead, there's now four fraud upon a court case. It's clear, saying, plain, simple fraud. I have a law degree. And she's got evidence of coercion all over the fucking place. They are definitely trying to starve her into a lie. Broke as fuck. So now we know they killed Chief Miller. Why else would they do that? They've got an invested interest in this situation that they shouldn't. We know they didn't. We don't just now. Pretty sure they killed Chief Miller and framed Mike, but that they also did the vandalism 6 days before that she reported against whoever did it. I didn't even put anybody's name on it. Jodi Arias slashed Travis Alexander's tires, and the next escalation was murder in the first degree. It's just that you didn't kill me, you killed the cop that was trying to help me. Now I don't call cops. I really don't want to call cops. I just don't. Which one am I going to get? One on your payroll that's going to hurt me for you, or one that ends up like this, dead? And he doesn't get to go home to his family. Not locals. It's been very difficult for me. And you coaxed Mike. How did you know Mike had to be begged or coaxed to go to Pensacola? Which one of you did that? Who are the other victims of the sex exploitation? Who's talking is what the question really was. I'm like, no habla English. I'm going to say it in court. Only you didn't let me in court. For the 4th time. That flagged off a reporter. We're going to take her car away from her, even though it's not legal. In August 2019. Followed by 5 car accidents and vandalism. Yep. Who has the power to get me that? Mr. Robertson. That's who you're pissing off. Every day I'm broke. Every day Mike's in jail. Every day you're in my life. Trying to cause one problem after another, after another, after another. Perry pesters and bothers and pesters and bothers and pesters and bothers. I don't like you. Grow a pair and move on. Everybody else in this society, Mr. Perry, can move on. When rejected, you're just not keeping up. You act like you have no fucking idea what I'm saying. So we got all this. I mean, there's 70,000 something that you know of. I don't have time to type them all up. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes if we know you're creating a danger, I just change something. I don't say a word about it. I just don't do things like you wanted me to. I don't always have time. I'm busy. I have a life. I work, I go to college, and I'm fighting your crime like nobody else has done before. Maybe I'm Exhibit A. Maybe that's why it's different when you do it to me. Now, fix the thing with my ex-husband. You don't have a choice. And as many times as we've quoted you, we don't know why you think you do. You had no right to butt into that. You had no right to interfere with that. You had no right to have me thrown out on the street in retaliation for this testimony right here. I filed a motion to intervene. When it looked, I mean, I'm looking on the docket and my depo's not there. And I'm like, ugh, my deposition is the only one not on the docket. I'm looking at the names of the witnesses. My name's on it. I'm looking at on the docket. I read every fucking thing of Mike's thing. Everything. Because the timing of the death flagged us off, and we were kind of going, what? That doesn't look right. Something is up. People in Manford were commenting, they got them both. Who got them both? The Texas Mafia, after you, got them both. The fuck? They got them both. Jesus. Let's start digging. So we dug and we found this right here. Every time you contact me, Mr. Perry, every day I'm broke, every day Mike's in jail, we get more and more and more, and you're never gonna get a date, you sick son of a bitch. You're not man enough for me. So the guy said if Cynthia's making comments about Mr. Perry acting like a girl, cross-dressing maybe, did she get that from that book she's reading? And he said, listen, I think Charles Perry is every kind of sex weirdo that book has. I'll tell you he is. I'll tell you he is. He's a very dangerous man. TPD could have helped wrap this up sooner, and they chose not to. So TPD is going to have to, you know, whatever. They're grown men. It's not my problem. What is my problem is that when I do something, I try to do it very well. And I've gotten more than anybody has ever gotten in Mr. Perry's life. Where's the one about, we got to get her back to Texas. So we can do more to her. There's the McNamara email. Dated the 15th. Look at the dates and times of my emails. They're very, very significant. Right? Are they not, Mr. Perry? Right here in March. We've got one of our victims. We need to get her back to Texas so we can do more to her. Who has that recording? There's my ex-husband trying to play ball with you. Fix that, Mr. Perry. You don't have a choice. As many times as I quote you, like this, and the McNamara email, you think you do, then you truly have no fucking idea what I just said. Hunker down. We got her. Can't tell her ex-husband not to help her. We can't have her at a hotel hunkering down, not wanting to be stalked and photographed while she's just doing her work. Normal things normal people do. We want to harass her. We want to threaten her. We want to make her stressed out. You know, what happens when we do that is we get told on more. There's more of these. So let's do it more. It's like y'all like that. I mean, it's so easy, it's not even fair. Cause and effect. Cause and effect. All of this is just a part of it. I mean, this is not even half of it. You guys are something else. So, you do what you do, but don't, oh my God. You do what you do, Mr. Prairie Princess, Cuckoo Bird, but make sure you can live with it, because you are living with it in part, and you'll live. It's going to get a lot worse for you. You're about to go to jail. We're all sick of dealing with this. I'm not going to help you. We're sick of dealing with it. I want my privacy back. I don't want to be broke. No one wants to be broke, and I don't want your buy-a-lie money, and I don't even want to be asked to lie for you. I'd like to kick your balls up into your brain for even asking me to lie for you, you sicko. You are sick. You're truly sick that you would even ask me to lie for you. That you wrote up some letter of apology. And the only way I know about your letter of apology is because the cops recorded you talking about it. Like the ringtone and the shoe print. And the mic was drugged. And Gene Mitchell wanted to know how does she know his legal argument before he even made it. She told him not to do that. And I did. We want you to be gone. And then we're safe. We get our privacy back and we'll never be broke again. You won't be around to take our money faster than we can make it. So when I tell you to stop, sir, what planet do you fucking live on? As many times as we've quoted you in the middle of your crime planning, that you think you have a choice. Is it just that you don't understand a fucking thing I just said? When he pesters her and takes her money, we're seeing things happen we've not seen before. Nothing goes right. She keeps finding out beforehand. Then she goes, well, I told you so. Yup. You proved it all out. 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 Over and over and over. This was my school assignment. It's kind of vague. I mean, I'm supposed to be on the prosecutor's side. We were in teams, and I'm supposed to argue against the insanity defense. If you read that, it looks like the guy was insane. Except I found out how he wasn't. I mean, I sure like that bitch. So, yeah, Richard. A public defender doesn't, yeah, I mean, just fuck, whatever. I mean, who even says that? She's gonna have we're gonna frame her for this murder she didn't do, and she's gonna have a public defender. So you don't need to, do things like think about details, like has she ever even been there? Richard's like, I think I do. Have you met her? This is my work product, you stupid fuck that said that. Richard's smarter than you. By far. Thank you, Richard, for being smart. I like smart people. Every time I get one of these, because you hacked my phone and my Dasher app and my Uber Eats and stuff, we get another one, and more, and more, and more. People get pissed at you for doing that to me. I shouldn't be broke. So, I'm going to say it to you one last time. Act like you fucking understand, Mr. Perry. When you pester me and bother me and contact me, I don't like it. I hate it. It's creepy crawly. You give me the heebie-jeebies. You have never gotten a date with me in 13 years. You will never get a date with me. You're not man enough. Number 2, the longer Mike's in jail, the longer I'm broke, because you're taking my money, the more we get. And it has been that way every day since the McNamara email of 2015. Every fucking day we quote you 43 times. She's hunkering down because she doesn't like being stalked. So make sure she has no place to hunker down too. We're going to take a whole lot of pictures of her to prove we're not stalking. And all she's doing is minding her own business and working. Golly. Grand larceny with intent to coerce. Interference with commerce and contracts with intent to coerce. You want to force me against my will to do and say something I don't want to. And I said, fuck you. I'll sleep in my car. I'm not going to do what you want. Mike's husband has not even checked on me, and that's not like him. He offered a week. Let him pay the fucking week. Get the fuck out of my wallet. Whether it's through him or somebody else. It's not your business. I am the mother of his son. Period. Okay? You are butting into something you don't belong in. And for that, we've got no more. How many police departments did you call and ask to stop stopping your crime? I got a sex weirdo problem. I need you to stop stopping my crime. How do you even have that kind of conversation? Jesus. So, I mean, all you've done is make everybody mad at you. I'm Exhibit A. Consider me Exhibit A. Whatever you do to me, that's going to be front and center in your criminal trial. All of you. I have Geppetto's name and Calvin's name because you got in my wallet. Right? We have your code words. We found out you were looking for the recordings to buy them and destroy them because you took my home. You are pissing off the wrong people. And it is so easy, it is not fair. Mr. Perry cannot control himself at all. You have a sex weirdo problem and a deviant problem, and it owns you. You are a slave to it. You have no control. You have none. And every time you give me another I told you so, you give me power. You give me credibility. And you choose that, and I'm sure you can live with your choices, sir. I'm sure you can. And if you're a police officer, when you go to sleep at night, I don't want there to be one night, one day that goes by that you don't think of Chief Lucky Miller of Manford Police Department and Michael Neely, Officer Michael Neely of Manford Police Department, didn't get to go home like you did. You're sleeping in your warm bed. You took a nice warm shower. You ate your dinner. You hugged your children, and they didn't get to. Lucky will never get to again. And his children won't get to hug him. They won't get to call him when they have a question about something. And your kids will. And that man died for me. Because he said, I think Mr. Perry's a necrophiliac, and I think he likes having sex with dead bodies. And I think he's running a fantasy through his head, like serial killers often do. And there's a build-up and a build-up and a build-up of it. And he is not going to do it in my fucking jurisdiction. And I think that unfortunately got him killed. And I wish he would have said something. Lucky, the dispatcher said a lot of times would pull somebody over and go, not tell anybody he had pulled somebody over. You're supposed to call it in. So he's a little risky with his conduct, and I'm afraid that may have contributed to what happened. He talked to us a little bit more. Then what happened may not have happened. It might have. I don't know. I know God has a plan with everything. Sometimes things seem like difficult to understand, and some of it we're not going to understand until we're all up in heaven, if you get to go to heaven. I don't know about y'all. You know, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm in jail. I'm in a hospital. You don't come see me. You don't feed me. If you do this to the least of these, you've done it to me. Depart from me. I don't know you. And that's just acts of negligence. Well, how much worse is it for those of you who cause it? You're causing somebody to be in jail that shouldn't be in jail. You're causing people to be sick at this stuff with the stress of it. You're causing people to be broke. You're causing me to be homeless and hungry on purpose. And they can't make hell hot enough for you, Charles. Good thing I'm not God. I mean, they can't make it out hot enough for you. Charles, I would like you to shut up. I would really like you to just shut up. Please listen to me when I say this. I hate your contact with me. I don't like it. I don't. And the more you do it, the more we get, because I don't like it. No one cares what you think. We're all sick of hearing it. But everybody's just fucking sick of hearing you talk. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Just leave everybody alone, please. I don't want your BioLi money or your fucking house. I would like you to give back what you took and pay your legitimate legal debt and get the hell out of my life. I would like you to get Mike Neely home, and I would like you to butt out of my thing with my relationship with my family. All of them. And your little dolly problem. I wear a dress and I have a doll with a matching outfit. Girl act. I'm all girled up. You're not man enough for me, sir. There will never be a date. Never be a date. I don't go out with men who peep. I don't go out with cop killers. I don't go out with men who even let me miss one meal, much less have me thrown out on the street. The way you, I mean, it's not even humane. It's not even humane. What brought attention to you to begin with is the inhumane conditions you cause women and children to have to live in. Because you're a sadist, and sadism is a disease. You're a deviant, and you're a slave to it. You need to leave me the fuck alone. I don't like you. Move on.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want free for this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
Okay, I'm going to go over this extortion thing once and for all. And I'm going to ask everybody to write it down. I'm not going to repeat myself again. I've already gone over it. I'm going to go over it again. Because we got stupid people with Alzheimer's or something. I shouldn't have to say the same thing over and over and over. One time I ought to do it. You need to keep up with me. I'm not going to slow down for you. When I say give it back and get out, it is always in context to Mr. Perry's bribe offer. I have a house. You don't have to live on the streets. I got a house, but it's in Houston, in Texas, where I know you don't want to go. And you'll have to be with me, which I know you don't want to do. But that's the deal. And I've said no. It is always in response to that bribe. Bribe is illegal. I would have to become a part of his crime, which I will not do. I would have to sell out every principle I have, go against all of my DNA, be creeped out by this fuck, and I will not do it. So, in response to his bribe offer, always, it is, no, you owe a legitimate debt. Pay it and get the fuck out. Give it back and get out. And it's not extortion. We're not making any promises, sir. The only promise I can make you is if you give it back and get out on your own, Mr. Perry, I can ask the judge for mercy. He made amends, but he doesn't have to give it to you. There is absolutely nothing else I'm promising you. I'm not promising to keep anything quiet. I'm not telling you whatever I find out, when we find something out, we don't call you and try to blackmail you. We don't give a fuck what you think. If we think strategically for our case, we're going to put it out, we put it out. If we think strategically it's better I don't say anything, I don't say anything. Has not a fucking thing to do with you and money. I will tell you this, though. When you cause me a problem, when you contact me, my guys get pissed off. There'll be some that go in when they're off duty to work hard to catch you. So we're done with this, and you're gone. And everybody's safe, and I get my privacy back, and I'll never be broke again. TPD, sure as shit could have helped, and they didn't. They gave my report to the offender, who then obstructed justice and caused the destruction of my evidence. And they know that. And that's not what you do. Matt Powell had a legal obligation to collect my blood, and he didn't, which means you poisoned me. Because if you hadn't poisoned me and known beforehand arsenic was going to show up in my blood or something, that you would have to explain how did it get there, kind of like how did the opioids get in Mike. Nothing was found on in their property. It didn't get up and walk out of the room on its own. So he had the legal obligation to collect and preserve the evidence, which he didn't do. So I suffered the degradation of it. Mr. Powell had no intention to go into trial, and that is illegally detained, if ever there was such a thing. You can't go to Walmart. I mean, it's like if I'm working at Target, Target says you have to take 3 breaks a day, 15 minutes each. You have to. It's company policy. Walmart says you can only take 2 breaks a day, 10 minutes each. Walmart manager goes over and sees me on my third 15-minute break and tries to fire me. Dude, I don't fucking work at Walmart. I work at Target, and by policy of company of Target, I have to take 3 15-minute breaks a day, but out of my business. So you know by law I had to file a police report. You didn't let it get investigated, Mr. Powell. You obstructed justice. You caused the loss of my evidence. Don't you dare again say I ingratiated myself to fuck. Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, we don't even have words for that. You didn't follow the law. You broke the law. You perpetrated a fraud behind a court more than once. And we know that. So, you need to back off on making claims that you can't back up with evidence, sir. Mr. Perry, you're about to go to prison. No one wants to help you. You've caused a lot of injury and a lot of hurt and a lot of pain to other people, and everybody's sick of it. And you need to act like you understand me. Sir, you need to act like you fucking understand what I'm saying, and you act like you have no idea. You're causing the problems, you're making everybody mad, you're getting told on. Okay? Act like you understand what I just said. Cause and effect, we all learned it in daycare. When you do it to me, it's different. You get caught. But it's the same every time you do it. 70,000 recordings, and nobody will tell you who has those. Nobody will tell you how I got the Fabian puzzle in jail. You're not wanted, you're not loved, you're told on and told on and told on and told on because you're pissing everybody off. Get the fuck out of my life. Nobody invited you into my life in Oklahoma. Nobody. Leave me alone. Charles Perry, leave me the fuck alone. When you don't, we get more. Because you make my guys mad and you give us more to get. There's no extortion there, you fuck. Yeah, it's somebody is not... I mean, whatever... It's a different thing every week they try to false arrest me for. It's literally different every week. Try to frame me for a murder twice. Try to get her with her prostitution by shoes off. Try to get her on... have Terry give her jewelry. And we'll say it's stolen. And she's... try to starve her so she goes to a... I mean, coercion. Starve her to a pawn shop. And then we'll get her for possession of stolen property. Except, I take a picture of it after my guys play that recording for me. I take a picture of it, they take it to their jewelry guy, and he's like, it's not worth $10. This is Walmart shit. A pawn shop won't even take it. Every time we quote you guys, you oughta shit yourselves. And just act like you have no fucking idea what that means. It's embarrassing. I mean, what do you think we're doing that for? I'm Exhibit A, Charles. Stop contacting me. Mr. Perry, stop it! Shut up and get away from me.
Okay, I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want to pray for this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.